Good morning. So I know I'm grainy. That's because there's no sun's come out. That's fine. I got a lot to talk about. Let's start with freaking failures right off the bat. And as always, running quick. Okay. So welcome to The Real Will, episode 2. This is actually episode 4 because I did 2 other Real Wills, and I used a mic. I used like a lavalier mic. It was a cheap one. I wouldn't say it was a cheap one. It was costing money. Bought it at Best Buy. Had like a camera setting thingy that you can go from between iPhone and camera. Plugged it in, put it on me, made sure it was set on camera. And I'm like, man, this is gonna be some good audio, right? Getting back into post, and I finally got a chance to edit these last night. And oh goodness, my phone's going all sorts of crazy. We got This Is America playing right now. Let me pause this real quick. I'm doing horrible on my New Year's resolution of the ums though. I got back to the house, started to try to edit them, and there was no sound in either of the episodes. And I'm talking about these were 45-minute episodes each that I was going to chop up. Frustrating, but it didn't make me as mad as I thought it would. It was just like, okay, well, I'll do another one tomorrow. Peace. I think what I was talking about in both of those episodes were, one, in Creatives with Kids, when I was first doing that first episode, it didn't feel, 2 seconds, I need to turn the heat off so it's not as loud in the windshield wipers. Yep, I gotta keep those going. When I was doing that episode, it didn't feel as though the energy was being reciprocated into the camera because I was so tired. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. But watching it back, it looks good, it looks fine. I liked it. And then when I posted it, even better, I got a lot of good feedback. A lot of like, wow, this is really good. But. And maybe should I say I? If you notice it in the comments, write it. Like Will, and it'll just continue to make that reinforcement of not saying and so and but that often. That was I felt like it was a failure at the time. I felt like I was like, I don't have anything to talk about. I have a lot to talk about, but I don't have an agenda. I haven't created the agenda because it's fresh. It's episode 1. And that's what you guys have to remember as well, is when you first start something, when you start a business, when you start filming, you start photography, you start whatever the craft is, a lot of times you just jump right in. You see the first thing that you... Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. You just have to start, and you'll figure out what's missing along the way, and you'll continue to fill those gaps and get more and more efficient with the process. I hope you guys can see me. I'll sit a little bit taller until I get to like a stoplight. It felt like I was losing on the very first episode, because I had these intentions of what I wanted to be, and we talked a little bit about that in the first one. Okay, water. We talked about that in the first episode. And sometimes it's just all in your head. Sometimes the information that you're pushing out, that you're saying, it's just fine. People understand it, they get it. But because you're beating yourself up inside, which I do quite often, you feel as though it's not a success. And it was. So let me tell you a little bit about the success of those two first episodes, The Real Will and Creatives with Kids 1. The goal behind these two series, if you followed me at all, was to create a very focused experience while still maintaining what I love, which I really love my adventure vlogs. I really love them. I get out, I'm able to create something that didn't exist before. I'm able to do it in a very me style that I think you guys are finally like catching and seeing and respecting. I get comments whenever I post those, like, wow, I really liked, the intro, or wow, I really liked how it was just chopped, or wow, I really like those flashing images, is what people say. But it took a long time to establish that and get that kind of branded to be able to come up with that, and I'm proud of it. But at the same time, I have to offer value to you. I have to give you a reason to watch. I have to give back. It's not just about the me, what I love. So I'm gonna start like collecting quarters for so's, ums, and buts. Dead ass. That's the way I'm gonna do it. Next time I get paid, I'll cash in my fun money, and if I continue to say it, it's just gonna go to like a e-fund or something. Don't hold me to that though. I had a very hard time figuring out the distribution of all this long form content as well as micro, because I've been doing the middle. Yes, I'll wash my hands when I get to work, but man, my nose is running. Yuck. I've been doing the middle. I've been trying to play it safe. I've been trying to do 6 to 12 minute films. I knew that anything over 15 was way too long, and putting things under 3 minutes is really hard to do as well. And most times they recommend like doing like 7.5 minute videos. So I've been trying to keep in that little middle safe space of film content. And it's been frustrating as shit, because I have an idea, and sometimes things are long, and to be able to give a full sense, you need that. But your attention, you don't give a damn about the 45 minutes of me in the car. I mean, some of you do, but most of you aren't going to watch this all the way through until you recognize who I am, you respect what I'm saying, and you finally find that, okay, I can listen to this in the bath, I can listen to this in the car, I can listen to this at work. I don't have to look at Will's face for 45 minutes. I get it completely. But I was making content with the expectation that you would watch it all the way through, and I would get upset and offended because you wouldn't watch it all the way through. And it's kind of selfish of me. And it's also a backwards thought process, where it's like, you guys don't see the amount of time that goes into creating films for all these filmmakers on YouTube. Like, they put their heart and soul in it to be able to chop that down into a 7.5 video, or a 2-minute video, or a 10-minute video. And for someone to be like, oh, let me watch the first 30 seconds of this when you've slayed for like 40 hours or something, yeah, it hurts. It hurts. Especially if you're like there in person, you're watching, and you see the attention just be like, But we have to embrace that in this world, or else we're just going to fail. I realize that going forward in this year. So I'm doing the best of both worlds, I want to say right now. Actually, like, I'm doing 3 different things, but I'll say the best of both worlds. One, I'm creating long-form content, and I've stopped caring if anyone watches it all the way through. I'm going to try my hardest to provide value all the way through, so it's not going to be shit content. But I recognize that you don't have the time of day all day long unless I'm like one of the top people that you watch. And that's cool. That's dope. I'm looking for those people that are listening all the way through. That are going to hear what I have to say at the very end. You know, let's fucking hang out. Let's do it. I'm doing that. And then with this, 30 to 45 minute content or 20 minute content, you can do the same thing, man. You can take anything that you just kind of talked about. And I thought, because I was doing like the seasons, I was doing like season 2, season 4, episode 2, episode 3, episode whatever, I thought I was doing myself justice by chopping up like those episodes, like the adventure vlogs, where it's like, well, man, I tried my hardest to cut this down to 7 minutes, and you want me to cut this down to 2 minutes too? That hurt. But when I'm doing like these like straight on, like talking, like this me giving advice, it's a little bit easier because I'll change subjects and hey, there goes a spot to cut. That's fine. So what I've been doing over the past week that has instantly been working, I didn't expect it. I didn't have the expectations for it to just instantly be like, okay, that works, that's great. As I've been taking this content, I've been listening all the way through, just been listening back to myself. Sounds superseded or conceited, but I mean, I gotta know what I'm putting out there, or I have to like at least listen back so I can cut it into under like, as I'm listening, if a topic is like, that I say is under like 1 minute, I'll cut it there. If it's like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, even 5 minutes, that's fine if I have to talk for that long. But typically what I'm finding is that I'm getting like 40-second cuts and 2.5 minute cuts. There's a few that are like 6 minutes, but those are kind of where, that's how the attention stops. Or that's where like my topics kind of change, I feel like. Or I try to structure that. But I'm just listening. I'm not doing anything complicated, nothing complex. If you're wondering how I'm doing this and you're like, shit, we'll just fucking boomed out of nowhere onto the scene, this is how I'm doing it. And that's cool if you're actually seeing my content, that you're actually getting value and you're like, hell yeah, more. Just talk about something that you know, something that, whether that's your life or whether that's something that you're passionate about. So that's why I chose Creatives with Kids and Real Will. Creatives with Kids is it's all about the design and passion and everything that I do every single day of my life. You just don't see it. You just don't hear it because it's 8 hours of my life at New Human. And that's cool. I mean, that's fine. But I want to be able to share that and give that advice back where I can. Because a lot of the stuff that you guys have put out and the mentors and people that I follow, they're just giving it away all for free, and I feel like it's a service it doesn't have to be a service to them, but it's a service to anyone that's just trying to learn, trying to find themselves in life. And if I help you through some of that stuff, boss, just let me know in the comments. To Real Will, I made this series specifically, like, you guys see Happy-Go-Lucky Will all day long, but this is kind of more a reflection of what I'm thinking on a everyday basis and what's going through my mind and the anxiety, the struggle. I feel like it really will be beneficial. Let's see. Talked about that in Real Will 1, so I won't go any further into that. After I chop these up into 1 to whatever second or minute clips, I have several places that I'm distributing to, and this is what I'm figuring out. I don't have this down pat, but I feel like each day I'm getting a little bit closer and closer. I'm publishing the long tail video, and if it's just me talking, I can also convert it into just audio as well. That's on purpose why I'm doing these talks too. So I'll publish it on YouTube, Facebook. These are all natively, not like shared YouTube posts. That's what I was doing. Don't fucking do that shit unless it's working for you. It doesn't work for me. And I'm going to be posting, and I'm going to be doing IGTV with this one if I get time tonight. I think I will. So I'm going to be doing that. I feel like there's not that many things on there right now, but there's a big audience, so hopefully I can get a little bit in front of that. That'd be awesome. Then I take the micro pieces of content, and this usually isn't in one sitting, and this is what I've been trying to figure out. The long form, I take like an hour and a half, chop it, and then press upload. That's easy. Add a description. I also, as I'm doing that, upload these small micro pieces of content are being exported just to like my system. Like I can't export them straight to Facebook or Instagram and Twitter, which is freaking driving me bonkers. If you know a way that you can do it natively on the desktop, I use Final Cut Pro. Let me know, please. And I've been waking up, and that's what I did this morning, and I think this is how I'm going to continue to handle this. Wake up fresh, in a rush to get out the door, and take a minute, like 15-20 minutes, to publish those micro pieces of content for fresh for the morning. I don't know how much I'll be doing, or how much I will post at one single time. I think what I did this morning was pretty good. Maybe I'll do one more after I get off work to finish up the collective of Creators with Kids, the last little bit of micro content I have for it. Oh, and also, this is like boring the shit out of you, the micro and the filmmaking stuff. Let me know. I will still talk about it, but I won't talk about it as much or as frequently. I still definitely will talk about it, no doubt. So, moving on to something more personal, something I'm ecstatic about. I've been waiting. I don't know if I've been waiting on this, but I feel like this is a monumental moment for my son, Eden. Tomorrow, and depends on when you see this, I'm going to be posting the long form today, so tomorrow if you're watching the micro. Eden turns 5. Like, freaking 5. Like, that is a huge deal. You made it through over, 1,500 days in life. Like, I didn't get that excited over 1. Laura was super excited over 1. Like, he's 1, he's turned 1. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's 1. But 5, the kids are intelligent. Kids are crazy smart. You might not recognize this or realize this if you don't have kids, or unless you're a kid, you know this. But kids are very intelligent, especially this generation. And I'll continue to talk about this generation because I love where it's going. I hate where it's going, but I love where it's going. I feel it's for the better more than for the worse. And our kids, our 3-year-olds, they know how to work a tablet. They know how to work a freaking touchscreen. You know how long we had to wait for a touchscreen? Like for us to do any of that stuff? We were on the QWERTY keyboard. We were on the A9 keyboard where you like press 3 times to get to C, and then you go to the next one. Those were the days. But I don't know if it's in the DNA or it's just they've made it so intuitive, it's so natural, it's so seamless. Probably a little bit of both. But kids know how to work technology, and I'm talking about at a young age. So just imagine that boom in 10 years. They're surrounded by this technology. 10 years later, they're going to be doing it they're already doing it way better than us, but they're going to be geniuses at it. I understand why like firms hire young now, like, because they missed that curve, or there's something that just like they weren't surrounded by it all their lives when these people are. And we have to play catch up, and I'm playing catch up. I'm somehow, guys, this is like lottery. I followed my passion, I followed what I love, and it just so happened to be what the fuck everyone is rousing about, everyone is jumping for right now. Not even for right, like, it's been jumping for a while, but it's about to jump. We're about to jump off the cliff. It's about to be real. So creative director, graphic designers, web developers, like artists, everyone is going to convert to a personal brand. I'm going to say everyone. You're going to still have the big corporations, but all the small entrepreneurs that are trying to figure out a way to create their own brand, and they're fucking struggling with it, and they're having a hard-ass time with it, eventually they're going to catch on, like, you know what? Let me just do a personal brand. It's so much easier to be myself than AD Box or whatever your clever scientific logo name is. It's just so easy to be myself. That's all you got to be. Be yourself. Provide good content. And somehow I'm in the space of all that. Somehow I'm ahead of like these curves. Like it was before the web jumped off, like super hardcore. I was learning all the coding stuff, not because I was like, man, this is gonna be the next big thing and this is gonna be great, just because I fell in love with it. In graphic design, I fell in love with it, and it just so happened to be that brands are like, man, we really need this stuff. Like this is really cool stuff. I'm going to try not to saturate the fuck out of this with creative stuff and filmmaking stuff, because that's, creatives with kids. But I just want to say our kids are geniuses. They're amazing, and respect that, like love that, support that, embrace that. I'm looking for any type of sign, with Titan and King and Eden, that shows like what their personality is going to start, what their personality is becoming, what they're starting to be interested in. And back in that, the biggest thing that I need to give more to my kids that I lack is the attention, is just sitting down and fucking just cutting off everything and just giving them like that straight on attention. I struggle with that. I feel like I do a good job as a dad. I feel like I could do a good job like helping and supplying and cleaning up and discipline and all that. I do feel like I do a good job with with hanging out and chilling, but I feel like I lack in the like just that ultimate attention. It's hard. It's hard, like we got all this other stuff bombarding us, but they're only going to be young so long, and I got to remind myself that every single day. Oh, I got to do this. No, I got to make sure I do. Yes and no. Yes, you got responsibilities. Yes, you should fulfill your passion. But yes, you need to take that time to just sit with your kids. And tomorrow, so Sunday is usually our family day. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in this vlog. Maybe the one that got deleted somehow. I don't know. But Sunday is the time that Laura and I take to be with the kids. Like, that is our day. And I love that. Especially with these winter days, these winter, like, when it's rainy every single day, and I have the car, we're a single car family, and I work an hour away. A lot of times they're in the house, for 5 days a week, which I hate. Summertime, we can kind of like let them be outside and kind of do their thing. But it's really hard to like keep a consistent getting them outside, inside, all that stuff when it's like nasty cold and rainy and everything. So Sunday we make it a very big priority. We don't go to church, where we pretty much just do the whole day for the kids. So we wake up, I try to take my attention more over into them that day, more over than any other day. Kids overall, work, you may be doing some type of something here and there or whatever, but that's the ultimate focus. And try to play with them. We usually take them out to the play lodge, which is fucking expensive. Jesus Christ. I love play lodge, but they're going up and up and up. They're capitalizing on that supply and demand, which, it's good business. It's just, getting to the price where it's do I really take my kids there, which is bad business. But I'm trying to do this curve right now. Then usually we go to Five Guys. They love fries there. It's their favorites. If it's a sunshiny day, we'll go out to the park. Just nothing too fancy, but just taking time to enjoy it. I really enjoyed this Sunday with them, but because Eden's birthday is Saturday, we're just going to do a family day Saturday, family day Saturday, and then we're gonna do our fun day, our me and you time this Sunday. So it really, but when you start noticing how much you say a word and how useless that word is, it blows my mind. There's no contextual use for the words that I get, the three words, so the but and the is me just trying to find time to think of something. So is me trying to think of something. But is it's pretty much the same thing. Just pause and just don't say a word for a second. It'll create a clean cut break in the audio. Speaking of audio, that's why I put the lapel mic on. I thought that would be great because I don't have my road mic on here. It's just the native camera audio. And I noticed that it was bouncing, the camera was bouncing against the top window. But until I get another mic or figure out another solution. Thanks for dealing with the okay audio. It's not the greatest. Let's talk about perfection. I'm a perfectionist. Let me rephrase that. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to something that I haven't been doing that long. What do I mean by that? I've been making flyers, websites, all that stuff for a good 10, 12 years. I know what is good enough, and I know what will be received well, and I know not to have so much buy-in where it hurts my feelings. With those things, I'm able to separate myself and still deliver good content. Know that it's good enough, but it may not be absolutely perfect. Those are things it took a long time to do, but I'm proud of. With filmmaking, I'm still learning the process, the ins and outs of a lot of this stuff. It's hard for you to, one, put your own self out there. This year, I want to focus on producing massive amounts of content that are good, and then my adventure vlogs, those will showcase my real skill, my real film talent. I feel like it's better to get in front of you guys and the video be okay than critique the shit out of all these films and then only produce one film a week. I want want to be on the daily side. I don't want to be on the weekly side. I feel like we can establish a connection that way. I create, I distribute, you comment, I respond, I create again. Plain and simple. I don't know if this is in Real Will, the original Real Will 2 or 3 or whatever that I created that got jacked, but let me talk about this one thing and then I'm going to close it off here. I'm going to be doing weddings this year. That is what I want to do. That as far as like a extra side hustle on the weekends, I feel like I can provide really good content with that. I feel like I'm, got the skill set for it, and I just love the idea of capturing a moment for someone. You guys have seen it in my vlogs. It's like they're more lifestyle. They're capturing a moment. This stuff I'm just talking to you, but those are the things that are just like, bam. Cutting to the chase. If you have a wedding coming up, coming up, I will film your wedding for free. Like, it's the first 2 people. Why? Because I want to get some content so I can be able to use it and do whatever. And also I want to get a handle of, man, do I really want to do weddings all year long? Is this just some fantasy that I have in my mind, or is this something that I really want to do? There's no doubt in my mind that I'll provide a really beautiful film for your wedding, but I will comment below and let me know why I should do your wedding, and I will pick whoever makes the best case for okay, you have to check these boxes. You have to be local, so you have to be here, Asheville, right here, whatever, and I don't know, you just gotta be in Asheville and be man, okay, can you please do my wedding? I love your work. That's what I'm looking for. People that have seen my work, that know my work, that understand my style, so they have the expectation, and whatever. Even if you haven't seen my work, just you'll be able to see it. Just be I need my wedding film. Please, Will. Please do it for the free. And I'll probably do it for the free. First 2 people. That's it. After that, it's I'll have an idea of how much work is required for the weddings, and then I'll start pricing appropriately. And anyone that wants a wedding from me can get a wedding from me. Note that it is only on the weekend, only on Saturday. So if your wedding is on a Sunday or on a Friday or on a Tuesday, I can't do it. It has to be only on Saturday, and we'll plan it in advance and all that stuff. Because I have a lot of other responsibilities, but weddings is something that I do want to do. Little extra income, I want to capture that moment for people. I feel like it's a really good use of my time and a really good value to you. First 2 people, comment below, let me know. Do your wedding. And no, I don't do photography, so don't ask. That's my wife. She does photography. So if you need photography, check out Laura Mosley. She's amazing. She's perfect. But I do not do photography. Again, I don't do photography. Just film. Okay, that's going to wrap up Real Will 2. I hope the audio wasn't terrible. I know it's raining right now, and the windshield wipers are going back and forth and back and forth. That's just the type of day that I'm going through. I just want to remind you with this closing, I took a piece of time, a piece of wasted time. I drive to work, I drive home, I hate it, but I took that piece of time and decided that I was going to create something valuable for you guys in that time space. Something that kept my mind off of, oh my God, I'm driving for an hour. And it's starting to become one of my favorite times of the day now, because I'm able to produce something that I know is going to go out today, and it's not crazy complicated. Let me know if you have any questions, any topics that you'd like me to talk about or kind of just touch on. I'll try to throw them in here. 3 announcements before I jump off of here. One, I will be doing interviews. So there's like, if you want to be interviewed, if this is on Creatives for Kids, not Real Will. If you want to be interviewed and you're creative, or you're an aspiring creative, or you do something amazing, I want to showcase, I want to share that journey. You guys might have seen the film that I did for Steven a while back, Stove and Art. Similar to that, but this is going to be more long form, where we just sit down and we chat, we have a conversation, and hopefully the audience, you benefit from that. See how people got started, see what they're wanting to do, see what they're struggling with. Maybe I can provide advice through that. I know I can provide advice. So if you want to be interviewed for Creatives with Kids, you don't necessarily have to have kids, that's fine, but I prefer to have, parents on the show, especially if you're busting it, you're doing it, you're struggling with it. Doesn't matter if you're successful, period. I don't care. I just want to hear your story, and I just want to interview. Let me know in the comments below. Say, I do this, I have kids, I want you to interview, and I'll link up with you, we'll figure it out. Also, I want to do more Q&As for Creatives for Kids as well. I'll probably do it. I don't know if I'm not going to do Q&A for Real Will. I'm just going to say it right now. That would be too chaotic. I'm driving. I got to figure out what the hell the question is. No, I'm not doing it. But I'm going to do that for Creatives for Kids. So if you have any major question that you have, I'll try to answer the best I can. Let me know. And if you're not local, we can figure out a way to maybe FaceTime, but I prefer if we're local. I want to make some people, some friends in life, but I understand that, I'm talking to the world, not Asheville. So even if you're not local, we can FaceTime or whatever it needs to be. Lastly, if you enjoyed Real Will, if you enjoy any of my content, please consider Facebook messaging me $1 or Apple paying me $1, man, or $5, whatever you can whatever is valuable to you. If you're getting value out of this, and you're like, fuck it, I just got paid, let me just give Will $1. I will use that $1 and I will go buy a shot of espresso at Starbucks, and it'll keep me going and keep me doing more work. All right, love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Peace.